So this device we use is called a Haystack One. So Haystack's a company we started working with coming out of the 2024 National.
Okay.
So Steve Sloan, who used to be at PSA, president there, Upper Deck, he's been in the hobby a long time. He started this company with a great group of guys we've been working with, and it's basically two things. One, it's an imaging device just to get really clear, high quality images. And secondly, it's a card recognition platform. So it can actually help us with identifying and titling the cards as they come in. So what we're doing now is we basically have an app we use. And so what I'm putting in here is just going to be your package ID, which lets me know, exactly what I'm working on.
And then everything's automatically linked.
Exactly.
So, wow.
And then as we add these, what we do is we basically just pop our phone in here. The first thing we scan, just kind of validate it, is that QR code. So we take that, and what that does is just make sure that what I'm attributing all the cards after this QR code to are going to your account, just to keep things clear. And then the nice thing that I really like about this device is when we put these in here, you can really see, and like if you look on the screen here, like just with refractors, you get like that nice background color. It doesn't flatten them the way that some scans will and things. And so we just use this. This gets us a front and back image, and then we're just repeating that process for every card that you
I was
submit.
curious if it was individually or not, because you guys, I was thinking some people use like some sort of feed scanner, but the cards, I don't know if
it depends. It depends on the service level. So what we do is for our express and our premium submissions, so our higher dollar and lower card counts, we use the Haystack device for everything. Those tend to be our higher value cards. We get a lot clearer images, and we can do multiple customers at once if we need to. If we don't do that, and I'll just hop over here for a second. So what you're referring to would be like these.
Okay,
which
so you do have.
We do have the Ricoh 8170s. The nice thing with those is we can put 10 cards at a time in, and as you can see, it's just going front, back, front, back, front, back, and so you can go.
Does this work with top loaders too?
Yep.
Oh my God.
So we started working with Ricoh years ago, and originally it would only work on raw cards. And of course the concern was you don't want to put 1,000 raw cards through and you're going to ding corners and you're going to scratch surfaces and all that. So they have really improved it. They came out with a new version that we're still in like the prototype mode right now, working with them on. It's got like a Gorilla Glass inside, so it doesn't even scratch. It can handle top loaders, and so you can see every card that's spitting out here on her screen. You're seeing front and back image, front and back image, front and back image. So you can go rapidly through everything. And then we are just passing all those images straight into Haystack. It's doing the recognition now on the back end. So we do have a few different processes, and then if we ever have anything like multi-card lots, box toppers, oversized stuff, that's what these are for. So we've got 3 different methods. And these overhead scanners are what we'd use to lay out a 10-card lot or a box topper or anything like that, because it gets us that full range where we can do something much larger than we can fit in one of these devices or the feed scanner. So that's really what's happening there. And then picking up where we left off with your submission, what we would now see if I go in on Haystack here, you'll see you have
it already.
Here's your 2 cards.
I was so as soon as this is brand new, I thought it wouldn't work.
Nope. So as soon as I take the photos in here, they're instantly uploaded. It immediately matches them. And what it does is we can see these check marks, or where it's confident in a match. So like you see it, and you can kind of hover over and see it. So we see, okay, Sawyer Robertson, refractor auto. On this one where we don't see that check, what we would do is kind of go in back behind and audit it. So it didn't automatically match, which means like you can see here, it wasn't sure orange.
But it gives you the other
option. It gives you the option. So where it wasn't sure, okay, was it orange or orange shimmer? You can't always tell perfectly from a scan. So what we can do is we can come in here and select, okay, this is the orange refractor prospect Sawyer Robertson. It brings me to the next one where it knew right away, 2025 Bowman Chrome U, Sawyer Robertson, Chrome Prospect Auto, refractor, select. And then what we've got now is you gave us 2 cards. They're in the system, both titled. And so what Haystack has really helped us with is rather than us having to have somebody sit there at a keyboard and type everything out, we basically are able to do this. So we have people both here at the office internally, and we have a remote team. And what they're doing is, as everybody you see in this room is taking images and pumping them into Haystack, I've got 6 to 8 guys at any given time around the country who we know and have worked with us for years who are just online auditing this.
That's what I was thinking.
Because you can't fully trust the AI. Like it's come a really long way.
Like one of them was right, but the other one was off.
And so what their job is they're coming back behind, and even on the ones where it thinks it's right, they're just putting eyes on it and saying this is right. Or even something as small as, let's say it couldn't read the serial number, but it was number 01 of 25. You want to be sure you call that out on the listing. So those guys are watching that, adding that here, and then that gets us our title. And then the other thing we can do is this will alert us. So if the title was to exceed 80 characters, which is eBay's max, it'll let us know, and we can write in line here on the listing, come in, okay, we're at our 80 max, we're good. If it was 84, they can modify it it down. And so by the time they're done, I've got 2 images, a full title, it's ready to go. And then from there, we move on to the next step of our process.
This is incredible. My mind's already blown and we're on step 2. So let's keep it moving. I'm curious what else is going on.
Cool.
All right, really quickly before we get to the next step, I'm curious like the journey of your guys' your growth and how'd you get into this, and then how now do you have this crazy setup?
Yeah, right. So really it started, you know, it was Zach and me in the very beginning. Zach's my brother-in-law and he was coming out of the Coast Guard. He wanted to start a business. He started a braking business. And so I was helping him after my 9 to 5, just kind of like nights and weekends doing stuff. And what triggered the consignment was a lot of people would get into brakes and they didn't really want the cards. It was the fun, the social, the community of brakes, and they just wanted to sell them. And so we offered, hey, if you don't want to keep your cards, we'll list them on eBay for you.
Oh, so you started braking.
Started
the
braking,
original business.
exactly.
Okay, I was curious if you did like me, like eBay.
Nope, so braking was the first business, and what it really came from was we would offer to consign cards and somebody would say, hey, I got these 3 hits, it's not a player I collect, I'd rather just have the money for my next brake spot or the money to buy somebody I collect. And so we started consigning those, and so we would do brakes first, stop, and once we were done sorting and shipping the brakes, we would have cards left over, people wanted to sell, we'd list them on eBay. We just repeated that day after day after day. That turned into people saying, hey, I really love that you're listing for me on eBay for my brakes, can I send you these 50 cards sitting on the side of my desk that I don't want? And so that turned into the consignment growing and growing, and it just grew so fast that it got to the point that it wasn't really sustainable to do both. And so Zach ended up selling off his allocations to all the distributors for braking, sold that, and we switched to fully consignment. That was when Zach's sisters came on board with us. His mom worked with us. One of my kids worked with us. So we really had a family thing going. We were sorting crazy amounts of mail on kitchen tables and basement, floors and everything. And so we ended up getting our first office because it just kept growing and growing. And that's when we really started the outside hires. So we started looking around the area, asking, card shop owners we knew and people we knew in the hobby. And a lot of the people you see here now have been here since that time, and ever since then it's just taken off, the growth, and a lot of fun. But yeah, that's the short version how we got here.
Yeah. When did you guys start? What was the year when you first started, and then when did you go full time?
Yeah, so we first started, I guess it was in 2015, and that was braking. It was 2016 that the consignment started to grow, and kind of year over year we saw a lot of growth there. But it wasn't until I think 2019, it was COVID time. So 2019 that we went full time in it. So great timing, obviously, in the hobby with everything that happened. And that was when, myself and a few others went full time. We kind of went all in. And this year over year, it's just been growth. I mean, last year was our biggest year to date. We did about 56 million in sales on eBay. This year is going to be about 80. Next year looks like it's going to be 110, 120. Like, it's just, the growth's been incredible.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. So how many cars do you think you'll sell on eBay this year?
This year will probably be 52 weeks. And I think in 2026, we'll do 4 million. This year will probably be closer to 3. So it's a lot. It's a lot of volume. And like you talked about, it's because we're doing everything from $3, $4, $5 singles for people to 6-figure cards, because we just kind of try to offer something to everybody on the spectrum of the market, because the hobby has grown so much. And there are those people who only deal in the high end, but there are also people who just have a pile inside of their desk of 200 cards worth $3 to $5 each, and they just want to get the money out of those and helping them liquidate that, because most people don't have time to print 200 shipping labels and list 200 things on eBay or know how to do it. So but 4 million cards will be the number next year for sure.